Hey, fragrance friends and enthusiasts, welcome back. It's Benjamin here at the Centaur Fragrance Show, showcasing another beautiful fragrance. So thank you so much for popping in today. We're going to be talking about none other than Irreverent from the In Part collection from Histories de Parfum. This is a little bit of their higher end collection, a little bit more expensive and a little bit more unusual and certainly creative. And this is one of my new favorite fragrances, guys. This is beautiful stuff. Let's jump into the notes real quick. We got bergamot, we got elemi, we got lavender, we got some coffee, we got some amber in the dry down, and styrax, of course. We got to talk about that styrax, and this is a really interesting fragrance. This is a unique composition. Those are the biggest notes that jump out to me in this fragrance, but there's something, smoky about this fragrance, something unique. This is like nothing other. I've never smelled anything like it, guys. And I love when a fragrance excites you. I love it when a fragrance really grabs your attention. And this did it, guys. I have some sprayed on my hand here, but I'll reapply for y'all just to prove the point. And let's talk about the notes here, guys. This is a unique fragrance. I said it, and I'll say it again. You're getting the styrax, and there's almost this dry, bitter, styrax coming through with this fragrance, which is often known as a animalic note. But here it comes off as almost synthetic, and it almost drug-like in a way. And it's almost like a narcotic. And this fragrance, it makes it very interesting. The lavender really smooths things out. Again, this is a very well-blended fragrance. It's really hard to pick out the notes. But the lavender is more of a cooling lavender. It doesn't really smell particularly floral to me. But it's very cooling and wraps the fragrance around. The coffee definitely smells aged and bitter, almost like a gray coffee. The fragrance is very interesting. The bergamot does add some freshness, but it never smells actually citrusy. It never actually smells really fresh. Even in the opening, it doesn't smell particularly, fresh that way. So, again, very unique composition here. A lot of creativity going on. There's some incensey qualities coming through, and some smoky nuances that are certainly creeping through with this fragrance, with the dry down. But it's quite unusual. It's quite airy and light in its own way, and there is some amber supporting this. In the very deep dry down, as this fragrance does, eventually die down, there is the amber that almost has a tiny bit of natural sweetness, but there might be some people, if you like, fragrances that are kind of sweet, like a lot of modern fragrances smell kind of sweet in general. And if you like fragrances that actually smell sweet, which are kind of very sweet fragrances, you might be grasping for air, because this fragrance does come off as, it's not a very dry fragrance, but it's a little bit dry, and there's really no sweetness to speak of with this fragrance, even though there's some lavender and some coffee that almost wants to trick your nose, and it makes your nose almost want to be seeking for those notes, especially if you're a gourmand lover. This is kind of an anti-gourmand, if that makes sense. It has some of these facets that are in gourmand fragrances, but it never leans smelling food-like, and it never leans particularly smelling, sweet. So this is kind of an interesting fragrance that way. Again, to me, this smells very gothic or rebellious, maybe punk. And this is certainly a fragrance that can be worn with a black trench coat or all black clothes, and it would work very, very well for that. It's not a scary fragrance, but it's just unusual. Very classy, though. Very high quality, but an unusual fragrance nonetheless. Performance-wise, I got anywhere from 7 to 9 hours out of this. I would have liked to get a little bit more, but this fragrance does last on the skin even longer than that. It's just after 7 to 9 hours, this fragrance isn't projecting very strongly, but it can get noticed even after the 9 hours. It's just that somebody has to be fairly close to you. It's a unique smell, but I think people would be confused. The average person who's not familiar with niche perfumery would not know what to think about this fragrance. This is a fragrance that you have to feel, that you have to be into the emotion, and you have to wear the fragrance. This is one of those fragrances that has a lot of character, and it's bold, and it might wear you. Not because it's a beast mode fragrance. Some of those fragrances, like T-Rex from Zoologist, are like that. Trust me, if you don't understand that fragrance, or if you overspray, if you're not fit in the mood, if you don't match your personality with that fragrance is going to wear you, and there's going to be a disconnect. This fragrance can do that, and I think this fragrance, you have to have the right personality and be in the right mood to really wear this juice. So performance-wise, pretty good. Again, projection is a little bit above average, but not super strong. Sillage is above average and respectable, but it's not extremely strong. But because it's more unique, it can get noticed. Compliment factor-wise, I did not get a lot of actual compliments, but I did get people kind of, shocked or surprised a little bit because this is very unusual. This is more of a dark fragrance again. It's has some smoky qualities and some incense and some unusual, feelings to this fragrance. A little bit dry, tantalizing in its own way. Again, there's nothing really animalic about this fragrance, but there's some coldness, something that almost approaches like metallicness, and almost a fragrance that almost comes off as inky in a way. And I think that this fragrance really, really pulls off almost a vampiric type of feel. So this fragrance might be strange to some people, and some people might find it fascinating. I didn't get chased down. I didn't get a lot of oohs and ahs. Again, citrus fragrances and aquatics and really modern sweet fragrances tend to get you compliments. This is not really a fragrance that's meant to be a compliment getter. That's not what this fragrance is about. And for some people, they want the mass appealing compliment getters, and I make lists about that. I make top tens, and I talk about that kind of stuff. But this one is definitely on the niche side of things. So I really enjoy it though, but it's a specialty fragrance. It's not for everybody. So my final thoughts with this fragrance, with the price, this is a full 100 mils. It's a beautiful fragrance. I think it's 100. It might be even a little bit bigger, but you'd have to double check on that. I will be providing a link down below. You can pick this one up if you find a good price on it. I got really lucky. I got an amazing price, but you might be able to find it if you find it on sale for about 150 or so. Full price, you're paying upwards of 200. This is not a cheap fragrance, but I think it's worth the money. If you like more dark, incensey type of fragrances, I think that this is one of the best of what out there. If you like fragrances that feel a little bit dry and a little bit cold, this fragrance might work for you. Not everybody likes the warm, spicy fragrances. Not everybody wants the super inviting citrus. This fragrance comes off, unique. I can think of somebody who is a poet or a writer who maybe writes horror, or maybe who writes mysteries. Somebody who's a very mysterious kind of person, or maybe really just likes to be a little bit stoic, but also sometimes wears black. This is for a gent who doesn't need to say a lot of words to get his point across. And very interesting fragrance, though. I do think a younger guy could pull this off, but perhaps you would be better with John Varvatos Dark Rebel or Dark Rebel Rider for your money, or Prada Amber Intense, or anything like that. Prada El Homme Intense. I think a younger guy would, those kinds of fragrances would do you better, especially for the price and the wearability. But if you're like me and wanted something cool, something dry, something a little bit a little strange, honestly, a little bit unusual, this fragrance might just work magic for you. So really interesting fragrance. Happy to have it in my collection. I don't have a lot of fragrances like this, and this fit a special niche in my collection. This would be perfect for Halloween. This would be perfect for when you want to feel or smell a little bit dangerous. So anyways, guys, I'll wrap this up. And again, I wanted to say, check out this collection. There's 3 fragrances. This is one of 3 fragrances, and this collection from Histories de Parfum is going completely under the radar, and almost nobody's talking about them. So give them a chance, give them a try. If it sounds interesting, they do have some smaller size bottles available, and these are so unique. That might be all the fragrance you need. You might not need a lot of this. So anyways, guys, hope that you liked my review today. If you like what you heard, if I added value, if I made a very valuable review, if it was worth your time, please help me out, give a little bit back, and like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share the video, and even tell a friend. So thank y'all so much for being here today. I really appreciate you absolutely 100%. The fragrance community is awesome. Y'all are awesome people. And sometimes we got to get a little bit into the niche. I'm sorry if you're a designer fragrance lover. I respect you. I'll be talking about some of those. But today, it's all about the niche. And this, guys, if you're a niche lover, haven't smelled anything like it before. This is very unusual. So I'll see you next time, everybody. Where would you love? Find the fragrance that you like, even if they're a little bit weird. So I'll see you next time, everybody. Peace out, and bye.